Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, class. My name is James Hall, and I'm going to be teaching you how to break out of handcuffs. Zip-tie handcuffs to be specific. I know a lot of us don't want to be captured by any kind of criminals or anything like that, so I'm going to teach you how to break out of handcuffs. I have 6 years military experience with the U.S. Army, as well as a year of training with SEER training, which is survival, escape, resistance, and evasion. So, in this speech, I'm going to teach you about the laws if you try breaking in on federal, trying to break out of handcuffs or zip-tie handcuffs from a police officer or any kind of federal law enforcer. I'm going to teach you how to break out of zip-tie handcuffs over a long period of time, and I'm going to teach you how to break out of them in a quick, short period of time. All right. First, try not to get arrested by the police. I know it's really hard, but try not to. Okay. If you do get arrested by the police and you have zip-tie handcuffs, and you try to break out of them, the Penal Code 148 PC, which is resisting arrest, will be permanently applied to you if you're convicted of it, and you will be fined for $1,000 up to a year in prison, and for any future arrest, the cops will see that you have this conviction on you, and they'll be authorized to use excessive force on you whenever they arrest you. So please try not to be arrested. Or at least try not to break out of handcuffs if you're arrested. Okay, I told you about the laws that govern it, so now I'm going to tell you about how to break over a long period of time. With me, I have a 24-inch zip tie. This is pretty heavy-duty stuff. It's meant for cables and whatnot. But a lot of people, if they're in a pinch, say criminals, will use this in order to restrain people. It's pretty strong, pretty thick. Doesn't seem like much, but this thing can hold off a lot. And unless you're really, really strong, you're probably not going to break out of this. But the good thing about plastic is it's not indestructible. Plastic is malleable. It will eventually stretch over time. So over a long period of time, let's say that you're captured and you're in transport, anything like that. A good thing to do is if you have this concealed, just as an example, is you could do this quick motion. Well, not really quick, you do slowly, but you want to do this over a long period of time. Is if you are restrained, and I'm just showing this for demonstration purposes, it would be a lot tighter. What you're going to do is you're going to apply pressure outward, so you're trying to stretch it out, and you're going to cause a twisting motion, much like this. Now this could take a long period of time, like an hour, maybe even more. It's a long period of time, but your objective is not to break it. You're not trying to hold here. You're not trying to, like one of those action movies. You're just trying to stretch it enough until your wrists are able to slip out of it and be free from that. Now, upon escaping from this, again, this is for criminals who have involuntarily restrained you. You're going to want to escape. So try escaping. If there's other people with you, if you can help them out. If you cannot help them, try to escape and then get the authorities to help them out. Because if you can be a hero without dying, it's always good, but it's better if you don't die. All right? I just showed you how to break out of handcuffs in a long period of time. Now for this next part, I'm going to have my assistant come up here, get this chair. I'm going to teach you how to break out of handcuffs in a very quick period of time. All right? Right here, I have a piece of nylon. It's a 550 cord, also known as parachute cord or survival cord. A lot of people sell these as fashionable bracelets for people who like to hike. This is basically what it turns out to be once you unravel it. I have gutted this thing out because there's usually a reinforcement string inside here, so that it can hold a lot of weight. It's actually called 550 cord because you can hold 550 pounds with it. But I've gutted it so that it's more flexible so we can wrap it around us. So when it comes to plastic and nylon, nylon is the destroyer of plastics. It can cut through this thing very, very quickly, and my assistant here will show you how quickly it can go through. So first, I'm going to restrain him like normally. I have this, if you ever want to try this at home. This will hurt if you're not kicking hard enough. This is ridged on the inside, and it will hurt if you don't do it right. So I have this as option, but he's opted out. So just remember that this can hurt over a long period of time. So I'm going to restrain him. Not bad. I'm going to restrain him. I'm not going to do it too much where it's hurting too much, but he can't get his wrists out. So with nylon, again, what you're going to do is you're going to put this loop through one of the bands, right here, preferably down here, because what you're going to use is you're going to be using your feet. And you want to loop it through like such. A good note is that the more times you loop it, the faster it will be to break through because you have more surface area burning through it. I'm only going to do it 2 times because I'm sure he's a strong guy and he can kick through. So I'm going to use these. These right here are the boot loops. What you're going to do is you're going to wrap them around your boot like this, or your shoe, or your feet, doesn't matter. And then, when you have it properly fastened like this, you're going to be doing a bicycle kicking motion. The nylon, as you saw, cuts through the plastic with very little resistance. It is very quick.
Don't run away with these on your feet.
Do not run over those on your feet. You will stumble. Take them off. Now, after doing this, I want to remind you, if you are being held by a criminal or anything against your will, you don't want to do this with them looking at you. Okay? The good thing about the nylon is the nylon is very discreet. You can have this in your boot, your sock, in your pocket. You can have it like tethered around your belt. Most people won't give you a second glance at this because it looks like a shoelace. If you have a knife that you think you're going to cut through it, it's probably going to be confiscated by whoever's kidnapping you because they know that can cut through. So it's very easy to have on you, and you don't have to worry about usually being taken with. And again, it can fit in your boot, sock, or anything like that without any real problems. I have usually this on me at all times. I don't know why, it's a paranoia thing. But it's a good thing to have. It can break through that. Again, when you're escaping, don't be a hero unless you can safely. If you are trained with this could probably help you against anybody, but again, try to stay hidden if you can, because you don't want to get recaptured and then lose that. So in my demo, I covered the laws that govern if you're trying to resist arrest. I covered how to break out of zip-tie handcuffs over a long period of time, and I also covered how to break out of them over a short period of time. Whenever you are caught in a situation where you're being taken involuntarily, it's always good to have a plan beforehand and a plan during. So having something like this could take 2 minutes to make. So if you can make something like this, have it on you. I know it's very paranoid to think that this could happen, but it does happen, and it's always good to have a backup plan. Again, my name is James Hall, and I hope you enjoyed my speech.
All right, some comments for James, please. Thank you.
If you eye contact with the audience and your voice staying like you can hear yourself throughout the whole speech.
Thank you, Tyson. Yes.
I felt like you had like your outline down in your head. I think you presented that pretty well.
Thank you.
Yeah, it seemed very well structured and organized. You had a really good flow from one head to the next.
Other things that you noticed? So your credentials were
Very delicate.
impressive.
Box cuffs.
I guess like criminals should actually zip tie you with your hands behind. I
Yeah.
think that'd
If
be
you
like
do
a lot
that, unless they
harder.
restrain it another way, you can always put it over your feet.
Yeah, okay. One of the things I really appreciated about your speech is that you focused on unlawful seizures of your person, not trying to evade like an officer of the law.
I want to make sure people realize that
Yeah.
breaking out of handcuffs is a bad thing if it's a federal officer or
Yeah.
any kind of law enforcement agent. Anybody else?
It was definitely a theme in your speech, and it's good that you reiterated it more than once. So if you listen to it again, you can count and see. A lot of times people think, why do I need to say it more than once? Well, you do, because our attentions are always drifting. And so I thought that was pretty smart. You were a great trainer in both of these. And I did notice that out of the heads, the two where you taught us that technique were much more developed. It's also possible to put the law into the introduction, and it might belong there because your caution throughout is this is only if you've been unlawfully taken by some criminal. But on the whole, I think you really had a great structure for the speech, and you knew where you were going with it. Your demo worked flawlessly. It would have been so sad if you were trapped and still had the zip ties on and had the zip ties during his speech. But yeah, very good. Thank you.